Hi everybody, welcome to the Symphonia at Home. Today what we have in store is a special performance of Beethoven. But first, our Executive Director Annabelle Russell has a special message for you.
The Meet the Orchestra program was conceived about 10 years ago when the Symphonia wanted to fill a much needed gap for children. Music programs, particularly in the public school system, were dwindling, and we wanted to find a way to bring children into the theatre to meet live musicians and to experience classical music. So on the Saturday before our normal concerts, we have our dress rehearsal at the Roberts Theatre, and in tandem with that, we run the program for the children in the lobby of the theatre. We wrap up our program with an instrument petting zoo, and this of course is the highlight usually for these children of the program. We have a whole selection of orchestral instruments for them to experience. They don't not only get to look at them, they get to touch them, they get to pick them up, and most excitingly, of course, they get to play them. It gets very noisy at times.
The Meet the Orchestra program was nice because it was a short program designed with children in mind, and then they took the kids out and gave them an experience to meet the musicians who played the instruments, to talk about how they became so skilled at what they were doing.
It makes it so that when the kids hear what can happen when you dedicate yourself to music and to training, what amazing things can happen.
It was definitely designed well for kids, and the kids had a great time.
They come into our lobby, they might meet the violin, they might meet the oboe, they might meet percussion. Rachel Stern, who's taken over our presentations, she spends about a half an hour with the children, and then they actually come into the concert hall while we're rehearsing. They might hear a Mozart piano concerto. We try to schedule it so they get to hear something upbeat and kind of exciting.
So it's a great experience for the children, for their families, and they go away with a whole new experience. Many of them have never seen a live orchestra before. They hear music, but they don't really know where it comes from. So for them to go into a theatre and see a full orchestra on stage is an amazing experience. So they go out wide-eyed and happy.
If you love music and you want to have music as a part of your life, I think it's super important to go back to the very basics, like learning the piano. Because if you can play the piano, you can play any instrument. If you understand how music works, the theory behind it, it makes you better at everything.
Playing the piano makes me feel happy.
With all the technology that children are exposed to today from such an early age, their phones, DVDs, there's still something that you can't replace when you take a bow and come across a string, when you take a trumpet and blow it, when you hit a percussion instrument, but there's a feeling that they get that I don't think you can experience that on a DVD, on a television. That's what you can't have. Hopefully some of these kids say, hey mom, hey dad, I want to go try the trumpet. I want to try a string instrument. I want to pursue music.
I like the piano because every time someone plays a song on it, and it sounds beautiful.
And now your feature performance. Symphonia is delighted to report that underwriting for 3 of the 4 Meet the Orchestra programs scheduled for next season has been secured. We want to send a heartfelt thank you to these donors. If you are interested in participating, contact Annabelle at 561-376-3848 or email Annabelle at thesymphonia.org. Thank you so much for joining us. It's a pleasure having you, and we can't wait to see you again next week.